Hello everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, कैसे हो? Only 17 people. Where are others? इतना सन्नाटा क्यों है भाई?
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Himanshu.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ashif. We are ready. Let's wait one more minute.
Sir, I have little doubt. Can you resolve it?
Yes. Tell me.
Actually, sir, there is DSA in Java also, and I think in C++ or in C language and other languages too. Sir, are those all DSA same like in Python we are doing DSA? Are there DSA same like Python?
Everything is same.
Sir, syntax and everything and all?
No. Syntax is depending on each language. Only the concept, the algorithms are definitely same. Data structure, little bit variation, but the main concept would be same. Stack will be stack only, queue will be queue, trees will be trees, like everything, all the data structure which you will learn, like array, matrix, everything will be same. Some way or the other way, the syntax will vary.
Okay, sir, got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, then we are 20 people. Let's start. The rest others can join later. Okay, तो थोड़ा सा रिवाइज कर guys mute. I will mute others. Okay, so thoda let us revise a little bit. Okay, so yesterday I told you guys one thing that okay, let me ask you this question first to know if you guys remember anything from yesterday's class. Okay, today also I will try to write in text so that it is good for you. So what is time complexity, final time complexity in this case? Can anyone tell me?
N cube, order of n cube.
And order of n cube, sir.
Order of n cube.
Any other opinion, or everybody is going with order of n cube?
Same, sir.
Same, no?
Same, sir,
Okay.
same.
So yesterday I explained you that when the number n is higher, okay, this is very thick. Okay. When the number, even now also this is very thick. कल तो यार बहुत पतला चल रहा था.
सर वहाँ ऑप्शन है ना पतला वाला. हाँ.
Okay, when the number n is higher, then we know that n cube will be very far, like very more than order of n square. Okay, when we say that, I told you, like if we take the example of 1000 or if we take the example of even more, so just to, there is one website which you can plot the graph. Okay, so you guys little bit understand graph and all, right? So graph will, let's suppose y is equal to x, the graph will look like straight line. Okay, so that means you can assume this is order of n, x to the power 1 only, no? So n to the power 1. Let's suppose there is another graph which is x square. So the graph will be like this. So in this, what is happening, if you see for the small number, maybe this is more, but if you go higher by higher, this number, like the x square graph, is even higher, right? Understand? Let us take x cube also. Okay, so the graph of y is equal to x means that this is the value of x and this is the value of y. So this means this order of n, the line will be, this red color line will be order of n for us. So let's suppose if the n value is very less, then maybe this n, order of n, is little higher. So if it is above than this line, this means this is higher. Okay, so for number, let's suppose the n is like less than 1 or 2 or 4, but if you go higher, let's suppose this is like if I do even minus, so the number are, you see, 1000, 5000 or so. So this graph is here only, but this is going like exponentially. Do you see that? So the graph of x square is going like this for higher numbers. Okay, this blue color is x square. Okay, so when you go, the x number is very high, this x square is far more than the value of x, right? So let's suppose we have n value is 5. So what is order of n will be n only, that is 5. But what is n square? 25. So the graph, the distance is increasing, right? And for x cube, it will be 125. The value is even increasing. You understand? So the graph, once you when you go higher and higher, the graph will even raise the exponential power of it is, right? So just to explain that, yesterday also we have understood that we took some values from example and we understood that this value will be order of n cube. So today I just wanted to show you this graph and all. Okay, got it? Okay, so we have understood from the graph. The other thing which I will tell you, graph is clear. Okay, so did you guys got the coding challenge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you guys got the coding. So how was it? Easy, or you attempt or not attempted? I take that as a no.
It was
Sir, we have to submit it in every morning. Like we got time limit to submit our coding challenge.
Acha. Okay, so today you have time till tomorrow morning.
Yes, we get approx 10 hour or 1 day time to submit one coding challenge or assignment.
Okay, okay. So there is one problem in that, like one question in that, which you guys may not be comfortable with. So before going that, I'll just tell you one of the concept. Okay. So yesterday, if you remember, we talked about time complexity, and I told you that time complexity, you need to think of two ways. Okay, one is the loop. Okay, and the second one was something called, if anyone remember, it is recursion.
Recursion.
Okay, so the definition of recursion is, today I will not explain you full recursion and all. I will just tell you very basics of recursion. So recursion means a function calling same function. Okay, so that is basically recursion means. Got it? Okay, so now how it happens? Let us take one example. Okay, so the example, let's suppose I type a function. Let's suppose if we do, you guys know list and all in Python. Array list kuch aata, like you have read it?
We have taught the list, not array.
Not array. Okay. Yeah, so today I will tell you array, and it is almost similar. There is not much difference. Okay, so so what I would say, let's suppose if n is equal to 1, I would say return 1. Okay, so this is simple program which I am writing. You need to tell me the time complexity of this program. Can you tell me up till now what is the time complexity?
Order of n.
Order of
N.
n. Why?
order of 1.
Let's suppose I call this function with value of 5. What is the time complexity of overall this? You guys should know this is all are constant time only. There is nothing, no loop, anything.
Order
so this
of
will be
1.
order of 1. Perfect. So now what if I do out of this if condition, I will say n plus, I will call the same function with n minus 1. So first of all, do you understand what this program will do? Just think of a little bit. So take with this example. Okay, let me write something now. Let's suppose we have n is equal to 5. Okay. Okay, we have n is equal to 5. This function will get called. Okay, here we have n equal to 5. So this condition will run if n is equal to 1. This is false. So we will come into this. This will return n plus sum of all n minus 1. So what it will return? So this function will return 5 plus same function. I will write f here with n minus 1, which is what? 4. Agree? Now this is f of 5 actually. So we called f of 5. This will be 5 plus f of 4. Now what will be f of 4? Again, same function will be called sum all with the n value 4. So n is equal to not 1. So this if condition will not true. So it will again say return 4 plus f of 3. So this is basically called the concept of recursion. The function calling himself is recursion. So f of 3 will be 3 plus f of 2. F of 2 will be what? 2 plus f of 1. Now when we are at f of 1, we see that this condition is getting true, so we will return 1. Agree? So what will be f of 1? It will be 1. So now tell me how many steps are there in this complete program?
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 steps, which are nothing but n step, because in this time we have provided the value of n as 5. If this number is 10, then how many steps will be there?
10.
10 steps. So that's why we will say that what would be the time complexity of this function?
Order of n.
Order of n. So that's how recursion also takes very major important part in calculating the time complexity. There is no loop in this function. You guys see that, right? But it is recursion, which is creating the time complexity of order of n. Got it? Any doubt? कुछ तो बोलो, clear, non-clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay.
फिर से एक बार बोलेंगे सर?
So basically this function is running like how many each of the steps I told you, like if n value is 5, this condition will fail. If n is equal to 1, this condition will fail. This statement will return what? 5 plus same function with n value will be 4. So this will return 5 plus f4. Now the second will f4 will run, and f4 will return what? 4 plus f3. Similarly, it will run 5 times. And if we replace 5 with n, the time complexity would be order of n. Okay. Okay, so we are clear till this as well. Now let me give you a quick MCQ, and that will decide that if you have got something today or not. Where is the board? यहाँ पे. Do you guys see my board?
सर शायद आपने स्क्रीन
हाँ?
We see the board.
सर आपने स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं किया है, कहाँ से दिखेगा?
वही एक बार कंफर्म करने के लिए पूछा था. Okay, give me 1 minute to create the MCQ. Meanwhile, if you have any question, anything, you can ask me. थोड़ा ट्रिकी हो सकता है, तो थोड़ा ध्यान से पढ़ना. Just think a little bit before selecting the right answer. Okay, now the MCQ is up, guys. Attempt it. You guys have test also, not on Sunday, I think.
संडे टेस्ट है.
Okay, it is attempted, everybody. 47 people said order of 1 and 38 said order of n. बाकी लोग क्या सोच रहे हैं, like लोगन कैसे सोचा यार आप लोगों ने? Okay, anyway, let me tell you what was the question. Let me paste it here. So this was the question in MCQ. Okay. So what is happening in this case? Let's suppose I give a n value. Let's suppose I'm calling this method with, you know how to call the function and all, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I call this method with n value equal to 5. So what it will return?
5.
5.
5. आज इतना चुप क्यों यार, कल तो काफी. So it will return 5. Okay. So how many steps it is taking?
Single.
Only one step. It is directly returning whatever value it is coming. It is just returning. Understood? एकदम zero thickness कर रखा है फिर भी ये मोड. Okay. Anyway. So that is why the number of steps it is taking is only single. It is only one step. Even if you give the an input value 10, then also it will return 10 in single step. Okay, so the value what it is returning doesn't matter. We just need to count the number of steps the algorithm or the program is taking. That is time complexity, right? You remember? So if the value is n, then also how many steps it will take? One step. So the complexity would be what? Order of 1. Okay, very easy question. Just to know that you guys know how to call the function and everything, I just gave this question. Okay, so now come to today's topic. Today's topic is space complexity. Okay, so what is the definition of space complexity? Space complexity basically means total amount of space taken by the algorithm with respect to input size. So this is the formal like the normal definition. This is like the technical terms which you can learn online also anywhere. But I will tell you what it is and where it can be used. So let's suppose we buy a mobile this time, and we have one is iPhone and the other one is normal Android. So do you guys know that iPhone, you even have the lesser RAM also sometime. In iPhone, you have 6 GB, or let's say some other example, let not take any name. Suppose some of the mobile phones have 6 GB RAM. Okay. Let us take, we have two phone, and the other one is this like sleeky and thin and large. And this one, let's suppose, has some RAM which is 16 GB, and this one has RAM of, let's say, 8 GB. But what happens, there are some inbuilt programs in any mobile, right? The operating system, even if it is OS or OS of Android, or let's say whatever Mac OS also it is having. So those also take some memory and some time to run. So that's when time complexity and space complexity comes into picture. Even many, like sometimes if it is good designed phone and the programs are taking lesser space and lesser time, then this will run faster than this one. You guys agree? You guys have seen it practically, right? Some mobiles have many applications installed, but it still runs very fine, even having a 8 GB of RAM. But some mobile doesn't run even having a 16 GB. Like 16 is very higher, but in general, 3 GB, 4 GB, if we compare, you will understand that term. That is why, because all of the applications which are inbuilt in that mobile have designed in such a way that it takes very less space complexity. Even this also has, like, let's say Google Map installed, and this also has Google Map installed. This might take lesser time, lesser space also, lesser space, lesser time. So this will perform better. So this was just an example why it is important to learn space and time complexity, just to compare the algorithms. And based on this only, even you will get the questions and all. Clear till now? So
Yes.
the concept of space complexity is same. Now let us learn in the field of like programming. So before going to that, I will like tell you some technical terms today. You guys can get it online also, but yeah, I will tell you. So this time complexity, suppose this is given. If order of 1, you get some time complexity of order of 1. Even it is space complexity also order of 1. If this type of complexity is order of 1, this is called as constant complexity. Okay, because I told you know any type of constant which we can determine, that we represent as order of 1. Agree? The second one would be order of log n. What it is called in industry world, it is called logarithmic. Okay, logarithmic complexity. Next would be order of n. What it is called? So I'll tell you name directly. Maybe I will ask you some question on MCQ based on this. So please remember this. So these are actually important because sometimes interview will directly say that, okay, what is the time complexity? You can say linear, you can say logarithmic. Instead of saying order of n, order of log n and all. And there is one more, which is, let's say, we will learn when this will come. There is one is n log n. I don't know if you guys have learned sorting, but maybe I will only teach you. But n log n is called linear logarithmic. Linear logarithmic. Okay. So yeah, these are just the terms. Just to cover everything, I just told you this. Make sense? Now let's take some example to understand the space complexity little better. Okay. Let us take the example. Okay, I will write in this manner, which is, let's say you have sum, you take two input to sum these two, and you say return a plus b. So first of all, tell me what is time complexity in this case. This time everybody needs to be correct.
Order of one.
Order of one. Very good. No problem. Okay. So the other question would be, what is space complexity? So the Tn for this would be order of one. What is Sn? So Sn is basically, यहाँ पे we have learned total amount of space taken by the algorithm. So how much space it is taking? So this is one integer. This is another integer. We just let's assume that these are integer, not any other data type. So let's suppose this is integer. Integer takes 4 byte. If you know, this also takes 4 byte. So 4 byte we can consider as single one only. So this overall will take 8 byte. But since this is constant, what we will say?
Order of one.
Order of one. That is perfect. Understood? So even in space complexity also, if we can say that that is constant, we can determine the time complexity. It does not depend on any of the input. That means this is order of one. Hope I am not going too fast. Everybody is getting what I am telling. Let us take another example. Okay. Let me write it a little bit. Where is the screen? Let's suppose we have another function, which is we do a sum of array or list, because you guys know list. Okay, so there is some list provided to you. Let's suppose the list is called LST, and in that you say how to calculate the sum. You guys know sum, let's say, is we define initiate the sum as 0, and then we say for I in list, what do we will say? Sum, you know, plus equals to, right?
Yes.
Plus equals to is nothing but sum is equal to sum plus whatever value I will write, which will be list of I, and finally we will say return sum. So first of all, tell me, do you guys did you guys understand what this program is doing? Let's suppose, okay, let me tell you with some example. Let's suppose we have a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what this program is doing, anyone can tell me?
It's taking the list as input, initializing some variable at 0, then going to each item of the list and adding that to sum and then returning sum.
So what would be the final output in this case?
15.
15.
15. Okay, so basically it is summing up all the numbers from the list, whatever we are giving. Correct? So now understand the time and space complexity in this case. Okay. Somebody tell me and time complexity at least. Then I will go ahead, or I will explain for other people as well. What would be
Complexity will be order of n depending on size of list.
time complexity is order of n. Okay. How it will be, let me just quickly tell you. So what is happening here? Let's remove the example. What is happening in this case? We have some list, okay, and we can take as it is 1 and 2. Okay, we say sum is equal to 0. How many times this is running? One time. Then we go into a loop, and if there is a loop, that means we need to think a little bit. Let me just change the color. Okay, आज थोड़ा, I mean, we are pro in this board now. Okay, so not that much pro, but yeah, second day. Yeah, so now we are in a loop, so we need to be careful for calculating the time complexity. Okay, so this loop, what it will say, for each number in that list, it will add that number to sum. So we have starting the sum value is 0. Now the first element will come and it will say that add me to the sum value. Okay, so the sum will become 1. Now I will be 2. Now that I2 will also be add up in this, so sum will be 3. So the final answer will be 3. But how many times this line is running? For each of the element of this array. So if this array is, the size is array is 2, then it will run 2 times. But if the size of the array is n, then how much time it will run? N times. So the time complexity is simple now, right? It is order of n. Now let us focus on space complexity.
थोड़ा कलर बदलेंगे, वो दिख नहीं रहा है.
Okay. Let me color it. थोड़ा dark करते हैं. Okay, so now let us understand the space complexity. Space complexity basically means overall program, overall this algorithm or program, how much space it is taking. So we need to think of each of the variable. There is one variable which is list. So list will take up to all the variable of the list, right? So these are n, so it will be, so until now, how much complexity we have? Space complexity, order of n. This is also a variable, this sum, but this is a single variable, not a list or anything. So this will be constant. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now there is one more variable which is I, and this is running for each of the list element. So the I value starting, it will be, let's suppose this is the list. So starting I value will be 1. But what is happening when it will come back in the flow, I value will become 2. But it will actually replace that same value. It will not create a new space in the memory. It will not create a new space. It will replace at the same position. I value will become 2, and then I value will become 3. So I will go up to n only. But the space taken by this I will be what? order of 1. And then finally we have sum. So sum will also be, every time sum will also be updated. First it will be 0, then 1, then 3, something like that. But this is also happening at the same place because we are updating the same variable, right? Sum only we are updating every time. Make sense? So that means that is order of 1. And finally we are returning sum, that is same variable. So this is also order of 1. So the final time complexity will be sum of all these things, which will be.
Sir, there is noise from someone's mic. Can you, sir, mute it? From someone's mic, the noise is coming.
Okay. So the final complexity would be this plus order of 1 plus order of 1. What it will be? What it will be? Space complexity.
Order of n.
Order of n. तो final तो समझ में आया, but did you guys get this calculation overall?
Again.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Sure. Let me tell you again. Let it be whatever color we have. So what is happening? This list, we have one variable which is list variable. Okay. So this list variable will have some values which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, n up to n. So how much space it will take? We need to store all these variable at a single time, right? We cannot say that, okay, one time we have only one value coming, then second time, because if you guys have learned the list, we can anytime we can access list 2 also, second variable also, third variable also. So we need to maintain this full list. We need to store it somewhere, and that will take some space. That is what space complexity is, right? So this will take n space in our computer. So that is why space complexity only for storing this variable will be order of n. Okay. Now coming for other variable, one is sum is also one variable which is also getting updated every time, but this is getting updated at same place. We are updating same sum every time if we are doing some calculation. Make sense? So this sum will be only same place only. We are doing at same place. So the complexity of sum would be order of 1. And then the next variable is I. I will also be updated. I value will be first will be 0, then 1. This 1, 2, 3, like that it will go up to n. But it will also update at the same place. It is not an array list or anything, right? It is a simple variable, simple constant, like simple variable, not constant. Then the space it will take will be order of 1, some constant space. If it is integer, it will take 4 byte. If it is a string, then depends on the number of characters which are there in that string. Like that, it will take some space, but that space would be constant only, right? So
Sir,
that means,
sir, I have one question. सर सेम प्लेस मतलब सर एक ही वेरिएबल अपने आप को अपडेट कर रहा है.
Yeah, so what happens, to tell you answer your question, I'll just explain you concept of RAM or memory. You can say any type of memory in computer, how it is getting assigned when a program runs. This is our memory. So what happens, and it has some amount of, let's suppose it's a 6 GB, so it will be this much of space would be there in this memory. So if suppose we have created one integer is 4 byte, so it will take some space from this, and it will be single integer, let's say I. So at some place I value will be 1, then I will update its value and it will become 2. So same place only, the only value will change. The space is this much only. So this variable is taking only this much space. But let's suppose there is a list or array. Okay, so let's suppose this list array is somewhere here. Okay, and this is taking some space, which let's say start from 0 and it will go up to if the array size is 100, so it will go up to 99. And if it is integer type array, then each will take 4 byte. So it will take this much of space. Even if you change some variable, it will update automatically, but overall it will take this much space. So that's how space complexity will be decided. If it is a single variable, then that means it will be order of 1 time space complexity. Now you understood, right? So
Yes,
that
sir.
is how the memory allocation happens within your computer system. And it is also like, I'll tell you one little bit of thoda gyan, which is, it is some question on the chat. Do all primitives have order of 1 space complexity? Yeah, that is perfectly correct, except string. String is also order of 1 only. You are not wrong, because it is fixed. No, string also there will be some number of characters. Each character will take 1 byte, and whatever the number of like the character will be there in a single string. If it is hello, then it will take 5 bytes, and similar to that, it will be some constant only. If you say like you taking the length of the string also from the input, which is n, or which is like can be thousands, 100,000, then that will change the space complexity of that. Got it, right? So there was one question from Jayant, which was saying that what would be the space complexity for string primitive type. Okay, moving ahead. So you guys got how the space allocation happens in the memory. Okay, now it is done. Okay, this is too much. So let's, I think we should take some MCQ if you guys have known something or not. Okay. Simple MCQ for me to write, but you guys need to think a little bit. MCQ is up, guys. Please attempt it. Yeah, again, I will remind you people that time complexity and space complexity are really important topic. If you have not understood it, please ask me again. Anytime, even after the also, we will learn time complexity. Mostly in each program, I will tell you what would be the time complexity of each program. And if I don't tell you, please, you can ask me if you have not got it on yourself.
Sir, what are topics for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, you mean Monday?
Yeah, sir.
I think the topic is, let me check it. It is matrix.
Okay, sir.
Matrix is 2D array, if you know, array or list.
सर कल डाउट सॉल्विंग सेशन होगा क्या?
नहीं, कल छुट्टी है.
ओके सर.
Prepare for your exam. Enjoy the Christmas.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Order of n. Most of the people got it right. Some people said order of 1. So basically, in simple words, I'll just tell you So linear search, if you guys already know, that is fine. But yesterday we talked a bit on linear search. That is why I gave the question on linear search. We'll go horizontally only today. We'll not mess up with the board much. Okay, so quickly 2-3 minutes I'll tell you. Linear search. Okay, so linear search happens on an array. You guys know searching means in an array we need to find some element. Let's suppose the array is 5, 6, 2, 10, 25, and we need to search an element which is, let's say we need to search 2. So how we will search? We will check with the first element. If it is equal, then we will return. If it is not equal, then we'll go to next one. Understand? Similarly, but we know that we need to store this array in our program. So that means how much space it will take? Order of simple, order of n it will take. Okay, and in between we are just doing some operation. We are just matching if this number is equal to this or not, if this number is equal to this or not, if this is equal to this. So these are only simple statement which won't take any of the space. It will take some time, but it won't take any space. So space in the other statement would be order of 1, but this will take order of n. So overall total would be order of n. Make sense, guys?
सर एक डाउट था
Yeah, sure.
इसमें लीनियर सर्च में मतलब why are we considering the array? मतलब array तो already exists करता है. Shouldn't we think about the statements for the search only? Why, how come we have to consider the array itself in space complexity?
Very, very, very good point, Jayant. I think Jayant only. Very good point. So basically, there is one more thing which is called auxiliary space. Okay. So, and most of the time people gets confused with what is auxiliary space and what is space complexity. Space complexity, even if you have read it, the material which I sent you, it was mentioned there as well, but I'll tell you again. So the auxiliary space is the extra space which your algorithm is taking. But the space complexity also includes the input also. Whatever input, if it is 1D array or 2D array, it will take that much space also. So space complexity, even if you see the definition of the space complexity also, it says with respect to input size also. Okay, we take the input size also in consideration. But if you say auxiliary space, in most of the time in interview, not most, but many of the time, interviewer can also like ask you a tricky question, what is the auxiliary space? In that case, you need to tell only what is the extra space your algorithm is taking. So in linear search, we don't create any extra space. We do all the operation within this array only. We don't create a new array or new dictionary or anything. We do everything on the same array. That is why there is no extra space. So that is why if somebody asks you what is the auxiliary space, that is order of 1, or you can say there is no extra space which I am taking. And if it is asked what is the space complexity, that's it, that is order of n. Hope that makes sense. Auxiliary space versus space complexity. This is what I explained you. It is little bit tricky, but it is simple only. Auxiliary space means how much space your algorithm is taking other than the input given. Okay. Okay. Let me. Yeah, go ahead. I'll give you one MCQ till then.
Auxiliary space, can you explain once again?
Okay, let me explain it with one example. Let us write a program of reverse list, and the list is given to us in some form, and we need to tell what would be the reverse list. Can anybody tell me the logic first? What would be the program to reverse a list? To give you some example, which generally lead code also gives. So if you, let's suppose you have the list which is 1, 2, 3.
We can use slicing.
What is a slicing?
Colon -1.
Correct. So the output should be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. No, give me some simple steps without using any existing shortcuts. If you think it
The reverse एक function होता है ना?
Okay, don't use the inbuilt function and all. Simple array को use करके करना है. Reverse function होता है. You are perfectly right. But sometimes if you write, if there is a written exam of coding challenge, then you can write the reverse function. But if interviewer asks you that you need to solve it within that array, or you need to solve maybe without using any inbuilt function, then you have to do that. ठीक है, तो ये इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन है. विदाउट यूजिंग इनबिल्ट फंक्शन यू नीड टू टेल मी हाउ टू रिवर्स इट. सो सिंपल है, लेट मी टेल यू, and then you guys need to tell me what is the space complexity and time complexity. Okay, so what I will do is I will create another list. Okay, let's suppose I took list 1 and I say it is empty list. What I will do is for I, or I will say I starts from length of list -1. ठीक है, understand it little, maybe it might be little tricky. While I is greater than equal to 0, what we will do, we will say list 1 of something will be equal to list of I. What that something will be, list 1 of, I can create another variable which is say j equal to 0. So list 1 of j will be equal to list of I, and here we will say j plus plus and I minus minus. समझ आया what I am doing?
Yes, sir.
सर आप
No,
ये
sir.
सब VS कोड में नहीं कर सकते हैं, इसमें थोड़ी सी कंफ्यूजन हो रही है देखने में.
कर सकते हैं, why not? Do you guys see my screen, this one? Online GDB, I think, was the platform. Or you guys are more comfortable on VS Code?
सर थोड़ा फॉन्ट साइज बड़ा करो सर.
Okay, let me explain you. दिख रहा है ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
So let me explain you. So this is a, you can say temporary list which I have created. So this is the extra space which I have created, and this is also, till now it is not anything, it is 0 only. So we can say this is order of 1 as of now. Okay. Now this is also some variable which is also same order of 1. And this I is also same. So you can trust me on this program. Maybe don't go into the logic of all, and we will like solve some problem also on that. So today we are learning space complexity. So let's only focus on that. Okay. And now there comes the okay, loop is starting, but now what we are doing is we are saying that this new list whatever we are creating, we will say j is 0 starting, then we are incrementing the j, which is like it will be 0 1 2 3 4 up to when, up to this I value, because I is greater than equal to 0, we are same time we are doing I minus minus until then it becomes 0. So from this value to 0 the loop will run, right? From this value up to 0 this loop will run because I is getting decremented. So let's suppose this length of list is 5. Let's take the example of our very favorite 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so the I value will be in starting length is 5 minus 1, which is 4. So I will be 4 here at first, then j will be like how many times this will run doesn't matter. So this list will increase, right? So this list at the starting, what will happen in this case, maybe I'm taking little more time to explain it, but I think it will help you. So list of 0 will be the last element. You got it? 5. This is what we are saying in this statement. Agree with me? So after this statement, sorry, go ahead.
Can you explain that line?
So this line is list 1 of j. J is what? 0. So list 1 of 0 will be what? LST of I. LST is this, and I value is 4. So LST of 0 1 2 3 4 is what? 5. So what we said that list 1 of 0, I'm sorry, list 1 of 0 will be 5. So this will be our list at list 1 at this step. Now we said j plus plus, so that means j value will be what? 1. Now new j value will be 1, and I value will be what? I minus minus, so I will be what? 3. You got it? So what will be this one? So this will say list 1 will be what? 1 value before, what is that? 4. So this will be what? 4. So now what it will say, that list 1 is after 0, which will be 4. And similarly, if we go in the same loop, this final list will become this. But since this is a new list, this is not same LST, this is a new list variable. So how much space, extra space other than the input given, it is taking? That is order of n. Understand?
Can you explain again?
Do you guys understood that? Okay, this list 1, it will start, j will start from 0, then it will be 1, then 2 3 4, and up till now it will reverse the whole array. So it will reverse it, and the final list will be like this. And in this, because we are creating an extra variable other than this one, that means we are taking some extra space from the input. So that is called auxiliary space, which is what? Order of n in this case. And what is the space complexity? That is also order of n, because here also it is order of n, here also it is order of n. So order of n plus order of n is what? Order of n only. Now is it clear? Auxiliary space and space complexity.
सर j प्लस प्लस और i माइनस माइनस जो आपने यूज किया वो थोड़ा समझा दीजिए, तो नहीं आया.
अरे कोड पे उतना ध्यान मत दो. We will learn this code again. I'll go to lead code and I'll explain you everything. Don't focus on code. Just think about that. This extra space we are creating, which is of size n. That much only you need to understand. I'll explain you the code again. No issue in that. Like we will cover it in the maybe in arrays lecture only. Maybe we will cover today only some other type of example. Or nahi to, we can do it after class just for the code explanation. But today, did you get the? अरे ये क्या है?
हाँ सर ये वाला आ गया.
ये वाला आ गया ना. So how much space it is taking? That is extra, which is order of n, and overall space complexity is also order of n. Now that is, if that is clear, let me check it with the MCQ. Is there any question on the? Okay. Okay, that is my thing. I mixed it somewhere. You guys don't know what is plus plus, right? यहाँ पे issue हुआ होगा.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think now did you understand? So j plus plus nothing but j plus equal to 1, and minus minus nothing but minus 1. Okay, I mixed it with the other syntax. Syntax is different, but yeah, the logic is same. Okay.
वही सर
Anyway,
मैंने अपना पाइथन में था एरर दिखा रहा था.
No problem, no problem. So yeah, logic सही होना चाहिए. Even in interviews also, logic सही होना चाहिए. But obviously in coding challenge and everywhere, you need to pass with the right syntax also. So you need to learn both the things. Okay, let us go on the MCQ. You can ask me any question if you have till now.
सर एक डाउट था, आपने वो कल एक एग्जांपल दिया था जहाँ पे 2 फॉर लूप हैं, नेस्टेड नहीं है. सो ऑर्डर ऑफ n प्लस ऑर्डर ऑफ n इज ऑर्डर ऑफ n ओनली. अगर 3 या 4 या 5 हैं फिर भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता क्या? विल इट स्टिल बी ऑर्डर ऑफ n?
Yes, order of n only. No. Okay, let me just create it and I will explain you. Okay, the question is up, guys. Please attempt. And meanwhile, I will reply to your answer. So your question is, let's suppose I have a loop for I in range n, and I'm doing some print hello in this. Okay. And if I have 5 different loop, or let's say 5 or more also. यही क्वेश्चन है ना?
हाँ सर.
So yeah, what would be the time complexity is what you asked, right? Not the space. So these all are like this, or this variable can be anything, I, j, k, l, m, you can write that. So what would be the time complexity? So let's go simply what we have learned. Simple words, we will see how many times this step will run. N time. This inner statement also n time. Okay. Similarly, these all will run each n time. So n, 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 and n. So how many n's are there? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can say this is 5n. So the overall time complexity would be order of 5n. Do you agree? But 5 we can remove, right? 5 is nothing in front of n. Yesterday I told you, if it is order of kn and k is very, very smaller than n, then what we can say? Order of n, very simple. So similarly, if it is some constant, forget about k, if it is some constant, any constant, even if it is 1000 n also, we can say it is order of n. Because we always talk about worst case time complexity, and this big O notation, I told you, this represent worst case time complexity. And if it is worst case, that means the n can be any worst number which you cannot even think of, which only like the program can run on very large scale. That means this will be, we can ignore that number. We can ignore this constant, whatever it is.
Sir, हम order of
MCQ
log
is
and
done.
What if the for loop is nested inside each other?
That we have discussed yesterday, no, all these things.
So n into n into n into 5.
Yes.
So n power 5. So
N
order
power
of n power
5.
5. Okay.
Yes, makes. Still, many people
Sir,
have said. Go ahead.
order of log n कब होता है सर वो? वो एक बार एक एग्जांपल दीजिए उसका. Order of log n.
अभी आज का कैसे पढ़ोगे फिर? अभी कल का ही पूछते रहोगे तो. Okay, but I will tell you simple words. If there is some any loop which is doing I equals to I into 2 or I equals to I divided by 2, don't go by I or anything. The main logic here is, if the loop is running like the iteration is going by twice or it is dividing by 2, that happens, then the time complexity would be log n. This is the simple rule. Baki log ka concept I already explained you, 2 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, like it will be 1, then 4, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and that's how we calculate it log n. But basic rule, every time you don't have to calculate all these things, basic rule is this. And there are some one is by binary search is a very basic example of log n time complexity. Okay, talking about the MCQ now, many people have said it order of n and some said it order of 1. Okay, this is a little tricky, guys. You I should have told you that you should think a little bit. Okay. So what is happening here, guys, that this n number is fixed. Actually, I am calling this function with n equal to 5. Got it? This is a little tricky question, like only interview or somewhere only you will find, not in some simple challenge or anywhere, big company interview question. So this is n is 5. So that is why this n is fixed number. Now this program, whatever time it will run, that number will be constant. That will be deterministic. You can decide how many time it will run. It will run actually 5 times. You guys have, like we have seen it today, first thing only we learned this thing. That was our first example. I think the same program almost. Right? So if n is given, which is 5, that means the time complexity is 5. if I have not written this thing in the program, ये नहीं होता, then you can say the n number can be anything. Then it is order of n. So it was a little tricky question. So just think a little bit before giving your answer. Chalo, now let us come to, yeah.
Sir, can I know what is the answer of it?
Order of 1.
Order of 1, but when I was choosing order of 1, it is showing wrong answer. Order of n is the correct answer, it is showing.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay. I changed the option after that. Okay. That is my mistake. I'll cancel it.
Sure.
But you got the at least the concept. Okay, now let us come.
Answer will be order of 1, sir.
Order of 1 is the right answer. Now let us talk about arrays, guys. So you guys all already know the other one, which is almost similar, which is what?
List.
List. So there is not mostly I would say there is no any difference in list and array. Only single difference only. Where is my board? Okay, so array and list. If I say only array versus list, that makes more sense to you because you already know list. So list is what? Anybody can tell me what is a list?
It can store multiple data types.
Yeah, actually you told the difference, but yeah, that is also some
Group of
type
data.
of. In list you can store any group of data together. Okay, थोड़ा छोटा कर देते हैं. It's visible, right? But the array will have single data type with like multiple elements of same data type which are stored continuously. What is this spelling? I don't know. Okay. So whatever the spelling, which are stored continuously. Okay, so let me just explain you the meaning of this. क्या होता है? I already told you guys the what is RAM and all, right? So this is our memory. And all these things, all the processing and all this function happens in RAM, not in your hard disk. Okay, so array is something, even list is also something which is stored continuously. What does that mean? That let's suppose we have this array or list. So this will start from index 0, even list also start from index 0, array also start from index 0, 0, 1, 2, थोड़ा zoom करके लिखते हैं, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on up to whatever is the size of the array or the list. So the only difference in array and list is, so the array is generally of same type. Array can be either a string type array or it can be integer type array. Okay, if it is integer type array, then each of this element will take 4 bytes of space. You don't need to go in deeper into this. Just understand the concept that array can only store single type, whether it is int or string or float or double, like. Okay, and in list you can store any type. Even you can store your objects also in the same list. right? You guys have must understood, already learned the objects. You can store the same int value also in the same list. So that is your list, which can have first element can be the object, and the second one can be the integer, third one can be, let's say, string. Like that, it can be this can be there. So this is a list, and this is what? Array. Understood? That is the only difference. There is not much, nothing much, which I will also tell you. Theoretically, there is not much. We can solve some question on that. Okay. Everybody with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so not much difference. Array just store single type, and the only thing is list. You don't have to import any library or anything. For array, you need to import the array module. In Python syntax, you just need to say import array. Simple. And then you can write your program, whatever. All the other things like how to access, you can say in list, if you know you how to access, you say list of the index of that element, let's say 0, you will get the first element of the list, right? So similarly, if it is array also, you say the array index at 0, you will get the first element. All the things are similar, insertion, deletion, everything you guys have, I believe that you guys have already learned. So that we can move to the some question. Let's go to lead code. लीड कोड में ये वाला करते हैं. Anybody has solved this problem? First, where is our problem? Do you guys see that lead code screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's very easy level difficulty only. And so what does the problem say? That you are given a large integer, you are given some integer value only, represented as an integer array digits, where each digit I is the ith digit of the integer. The digits are ordered from most significant to least significant in left to right order. The larger integer does not contain any leading zeros. Okay, I'll explain you all these things. So what you need to do is increment the large integer by 1 and return the result array of digits. So basically, let us understand all these concepts from the given example. So it is very important to go through the statement also. But if you don't have time, you can directly go to the example. Sometimes it is very easy level question and you will directly understand from the example only. So what this example says that this is the integer, but this is basically stored in digit format. These are like separate digit, and you need to increment 1. You just need to add 1. If let's suppose this is a single integer 1 2 3, you need to add 1 and you need to return 1 2 3, and this also has to be in array format. And the explanation also says the same thing. Okay, let me write how to solve. Can anyone tell me? Thoda, I'll give you 1 minute of 2 minute of time. Think a little. If you get some idea, you can just tell me. Okay, time is up, guys. So I will tell you what we like. What if I was the student, what I would think of. So first, very easy solution. What I will think of is I will just add. I'll take the last number from the array. I will add 1 to it, and I will return the array. Does that make sense, guys? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Anna, makes sense, no? If I will take the last digit, so how to take the last digit also, it is very simple. I will just say, let's suppose this is the digit array. The digit array, digits array, what I would say? I would say length. Length function, you guys know, right? Length of digits -1. So I will access, I am accessing which index here? Last index. And so let's suppose I will store it somewhere. I will store it somewhere, let's say last. Okay. And now what I will do, I would say, so now what will be the last in this example? Tell me, guys, quickly. It's very, should be simple.
3.
3. Very good. So what I will do is I will say last minus equal to 1. So what will be last now? Oh, sorry, plus equal to, we need to increment. So I would say plus equal to 1. So last will become
4.
4. And then I will just update. I will say digits, this all the same thing. Okay. And I would say that is equal to last. So now this whole is the last element. So last element will be 4. So that is the right answer, right, guys?
Yes.
Now let me tell you what is the problem here. Can anyone tell me what is the problem?
If the last digit is 9.
Yes, perfectly found. If the last digit is 9, then this algorithm, the program which I have written will fail. So let's suppose the input is 999. What should be the output according to the question? Should be this. Okay, but what we will do is we will return something 99 and then 10. So our program will return 9910. That is not correct. So now we need to think a little bit more for overall program. We need to change our thinking process. How to do that? So first, let me break it into simple steps, guys. First of all, you will take the input. This time I think color different is required because that approach is different. So we will take the input and I will let's say create a integer from it. Let's suppose this was an integer 1 2 3. Then if I do 1 2 3 plus 1, then it will always give me the right answer. If it is 999 also, it will give me 1000, right? If it was integer. But this is because this is array or list, whatever it is, there is no different. Only the type is different, so we will not consider in this case. Okay, so since this is an array of same type, so what if it is a single integer 1 2 3, and if I do 1 2 3 plus 1, this will give me 1 2 4, and even if it was 999 and if I do plus 1, this will always give me the right answer. Do you guys agree?
Yes. Yes.
So our problem, if I say in simple words, the problem is basically to convert this array into integer and then plus 1 to that and then convert back it to array. That is our problem in simple words. Make sense? We have broken down the problem into simple terms. How to solve it now? We will say that instead of converting into integer, I will create a string. Let's suppose I created, which is, I will say str, list str, and first I'd say it is empty. I take one string, which is empty string. Okay. Now, if I do, let's suppose for each of the elements in the array, if I do list str. So guys, from Monday, you guys will not get this kind of issues. I have ordered the right tablet, which will work for us and which will help you guys to understand. But just be like my laptop touch screen is not that much great. So yeah, okay. Anyway, so what it will be, list of str, if I do plus equal to, let's suppose that was digits of I, and this we will do for I in digits. Now what it will be, guys? What will be the output of this line? Can you guys tell me? So currently the list str is empty. Now digits of I, the first element will come, which is 1. So it will append the string. So the list str after first iteration, it will become 1. Now again the digits of I will be 2. Then it will append the string with 2, and then it will append with 3. So finally we got string 1 2 3. Do you agree?
सर यहाँ एरर नहीं देगा कि मतलब int आप append कर रहे हो string पे?
नहीं हो जाता है वो. That is internal conversion. So int to string is very easy. It is directly, no error. I will run it also on lead code. You will understand. So after that, what we will do is we will say now we need to convert it into int. As you said, if we convert from int to string, that is fine. But if we convert from string to int, then we need a type explicit type conversion. So that is a different topic, basically, type conversion. So that takes that if something is bigger, in small words I'll tell you, in simple words I'll tell you, if let's suppose something is bigger, okay, and we are converting a smaller type into this, that means it is easy, it can take it. Simply you can say that it will eat it. Okay. It is simple words. So basically there are like it is defined by string is the bigger one, because string can have more bytes, but integer is just 4 byte only. So it can eat it, or it can the type conversion is very easy. But if we do in reverse manner, if we do string to int, then we need to explicitly define it. So how to do it, I'll just tell you. So how to do it is pretty simple. What we will say is, we will say list, okay, list of, let's suppose what was the variable, list of str will be int of list of str. So this is called explicit type conversion. So we need to explicitly define what is the type which we want, and this will finally return the integer 1 2 3. I know guys, this problem is little tricky, but if we divide it in simple words, it is simple only. So this will give us integer 1 2 3, and then what we will do, very simple, we will say list plus equal to 1. Okay, so this basically now it is not str, but still our name of the variable is same. So we will say list plus equal to 1. Make sense? So now we have got 1 2 4. Now we need to convert it back to list. So that how we can convert, that is also very simple. We need to explicitly define the type. We will say list to list of str, and that will return it to again back to list. which will give the output as, what will be the output of this one? This will be 1, 2, 4. You guys get it? So let us like do it on the lead code. If I'm telling you everything was does anything make sense or not? Okay, we have digits. So what first we will do? We will take string as empty, and then we will convert for each of the element, is what we did in the board. Also we did for each digits, we just added that. Okay, we will take it and see if there is any syntax error or anything. For I in digits, we said list plus equal to digits of I. I think it makes sense. And then, okay, I is the value. Yeah, I think here we will say str with I. Right, I is because I will say each value. So writing in the lead code only makes more sense. And then what did we say finally? This thing, what it is, we say list str is int of list str. This also makes sense. What is after that? We just add +1 and then we give this. We will return this. Let me just run it with simple example and see if it is working. Some error which is okay. I think it is capital is not defined. It will be small I. It is not iterable. Which object? Okay, int object is not iterable. Okay, then what we can do here is, acha, because directly I think from int we cannot convert it. Okay, let me take one more example for this. What was that? Let me just.
सर आप एक empty list बना के for I in list str append to list try कर सकते हैं शायद.
No, what is happening here is, so this is an integer, right? So I explained you this is what 1 to 4 yahan pe, but this is 1 to 4 is an integer. So this is an integer 1 to 4. I'll explain you again all of this. This is integer, so directly integer to list mein convert nahi hota hai. So what we need to do here, I think, is we need to just first convert to str and then we need to convert to list. Let's check my theory. Okay, now I think it is working. Try to submit it. Okay, it is working fine. Okay, let me explain you again, guys. So what happened was that this 1, 2, 3 was there in a list format. Okay, so this is in a list format. Now we will convert it first into a string, because there is no direct conversion from list to int. So we just converted it to string. So now this will be 1, 2, 3 string. Then we converted it to an integer. It will become 1, 2, 3 integer. Okay. 1 2 3 integer, and then we added +1 to this, so this will become 1 2 4, and then finally we will again convert it to string, and then we will put it back into the array, which will be 1 2 and 4. So now does it make sense, at least the logic behind it, so that we can go to the code? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Any question? Anybody else? Not one person saying yes.
सर कंफ्यूज हो रहा है सर.
Confused हो रहा है? Be
हाँ,
loud and
मगर
clear.
ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट आपने
हाँ.
सर आपने जो कॉन्सेप्ट बोला वो समझ में आया, क्योंकि ये 1 to 3 है अरे में, उसे हमको 1 to 4 करना है, तो पहले हम लिस्ट में स्ट्रिंग से ये कन्वर्ट करेंगे, बाद में हम स्ट्रिंग से फिर से लिस्ट में कन्वर्ट करने के बाद आउटपुट हमको आएगा, राइट सर?
So I will tell you simple words में समझाता हूँ. So what happens is, list to integer we cannot directly convert, and there is no operation also which we can directly +1 on list. We can do +1 on int. Okay, this will give our desired output. Whatever we want, this will give the output, but the question is given in the list format. So first, to go to this int, what we will travel via, we will convert it into string, and then we will convert it into integer, और फिर उसमें we will +1 add, and then we will again back to string, and then again back to list. So that is what is happening. This is the concept.
सर फॉर एग्जांपल हमने लिस्ट में 1 to 3 डाला है, 1, 2, 3. ओके, तो एक लिस्ट हो गया वो, सो हम उसको इंटीजर करेंगे, दैट विल बिकम 1 2 3 इन सिंगल.
Yes. So
Right,
it
sir?
is not directly, it will not convert to integer, no. So this is the list, which is 1 2 3, and then we will say string will be 1 2 3 in string format, and then integer will become 1 2 3, and then we added +1, so it became 1 2 4, and then we again convert it to string, so this will become 1 2 4 in string, and then we again convert it back to list, so which will be 1 2 4 in the list format. So this is just the type changing only, actually playing with the numbers, but yeah, this is how the data type conversion happens. Okay, concept is clear. Now let us again go back to the code and understand what is happening. So this is just a simple string taken, okay, just so that we can use it. So what this line is doing, for this is converting that list to the string. Okay, so this list we have, this digits we have is 1 2 3 in the list format. So in this statement we have in the list format. Okay, after this it will append the string, this list plus equal to str, it will append each of the element, and it will say now the list has become 1 2 3 in the string format, because it is a string. See, here we have taken it is a string, and we are adding each of the element from the digit to that string. Make sense? So our string will be this one, lst list str will be this. Now we have converted this list str to integer. These all are syntax thing only, but logic I have explained you, right? So now it will become 1 2 3, and then what we did, we just added +1 to this, so this will become 1 2 4. Make sense? अभी यहाँ पे क्या किया? So what we did was we just converted it back to string again. So up to this point, so I can break it also in simple terms if you want. Instead of a single return statement, what I can do is I can say some str2 will be equal to this. Okay, and then I would say return list of str2. So now what will happen here is this will be string of 1 to 4, and then this finally we again converted it back to list. Simple, no? Nothing much, just the conversion. So same thing, no, whatever I have explained you over here, is what we are doing in the code also. Clear, no? I think it is clear maybe for some people. Clear है guys?
Yes, yes, sir.
चलो एक MCQ लेते हैं, फिर we will take attendance also. Or you can ask me any question, guys. Don't hesitate to ask questions. That only will help you. Where is the board?
सर वो
यहाँ पे.
पहले वाली चीज में एक डाउट था.
Yes.
आपने वो सम ऑल रिकर्सिव फंक्शन दिखाया था, उसमें टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी 1 कैसे आया वो समझ में नहीं आया.
Okay, I will tell you. एक क्वेश्चन पहले डाल देता हूँ, then I will explain. यहाँ पे ये सब लिख दिया है क्या? Same question only you guys must have thought of, but anyway. Code Python. थोड़ा question lengthy है, but answer would be very simple, guys. So it is taking for me to write time. Think a little bit before answering this. But this should be simple if you have understood the question which we have solved on lead code. उसी पे based है. Okay, I have submitted, guys. Please check. I think I should have increased the time, but yeah, let's see. Meanwhile, I will answer your question of order of 1. कहाँ पे था ये वाला?
सर 1 मिनट रुकिए ना, इसके.
Yeah, do that. Complete, then let me know. Finish it. Think a bit, guys. Attempted, guys, very less attempted. Okay, let me check. Most of you got it right. Some of you said it. Order of 1 time complexity. Okay, so guys, anything, feel free to ask questions. So I'm really love to answer all your queries, and I really want that you understand time complexity, space complexity. Even if you don't understand matrix, it is fine. It is obviously not fine, but sometimes it may happen that you don't get any matrix question, but you will always get time complexity or space complexity question. Okay, so this topic is really important, the time complexity wala. And please practice also as much as possible. I will also give you a coding challenge. You can also find it some material online or somewhere, and you can always ask me any doubt or anything. Okay, so I will explain this MCQ problem, and any doubt you guys have. From my side, it is done. So I'll just create attendance also so that you can mark your attendance. It is created. Yeah, it is created. You can mark it. Okay, now let me explain you first this MCQ problem only, because just now you have attended it. So you have this in your mind. Okay, let's come here. What was the problem? This was the problem, and I asked you what is the time and space complexity. Right, guys? So simple thing, space complexity is figure out all of the variable, what all variable are used in this overall program, and find out how much space it will take. So this is a variable digits. This will take order of n space. Right? If any doubt, if I speak any doubt, please let me know. And then this is another variable which will take only as of now constant space only. Okay. And now this I is also a variable. This will actually run up to n time, because it will go to all of the digits, but it will go in the same space only. It will not create any say new space for himself. Then this I will also be order of 1, and then this is also getting updated. So this will increase its limit. So this will go up to n, and then we don't have any other like these. All are like single say steps only. Like this, there is no new variable which is coming or which is getting updated. So all of this is order of 1. So overall, what is the space complexity? N plus 1 plus n plus 1. It is 2n plus 2. We can ignore these two because those are constant. So what is final? Order of n. Agree with me? Okay, now understand what is the time complexity, how much time it will take to run. So the time complexity would be, anybody want to, any question or anything, first of all, in space complexity? I take it as a no. Okay, now for time complexity, this line will run 1 time, or I will remove this intermediate things. Okay. Okay, so this one was space 1. Now we will understand time complexity. So this program will run only single statement, and this will run up to whatever the length of the digit is, which is n. Okay, and this is what, only 1. This is again 1. These all are 1 1. But now because of this n, the time complexity also would be what? Order of n. Okay. Does it make sense, guys? Everything? Because यहाँ पे loop है ना. See, this is a for loop, and this will run for each I. This will run in all of the values in the digits. So that is why it will run for n time. So the right answer is order of n, order of n. I think option A was that. Make sense? Should I move ahead? Today you guys are very silent, so I don't understand if you are getting or not. Yesterday was still fine. You were saying something, whether it was correct or not correct, if I missed something. But okay. This was the problem, and let's suppose this somebody asked me this question, so I will explain you. Okay, so what is happening? This was not the problem. This is just the modified problem, but I will tell you. So I ask you, I think, time complexity in this. So this will take single statement, and this is what it will take. So I have explained you this already. So if n is equal to 5, this will run 5 times. N is equal to n, which is there in correct terms, it will run n times. So what is the time complexity? Order of n. But what I did in my question was, I asked you the time complexity of sum all 5. And I think I did print or something. I don't remember exactly. But let's suppose this is there. Then what is happening here is that this n is actually 5. It is not n, it is 5. So how many times this statement will run? This will run 5 times only, not n time. So order of 5 would be the answer. But we represent order of 5 as order of 1. Now does it make sense? Because of this single statement, all of the time complexity has changed. Because it has become constant. It is very tricky. It may not come to you very frequently or anything. So you, even if you don't understand, it is like little bit of advanced level you can consider. But just to tell you guys that this might come in some cases, so I just explained it. Like I just gave you this question. It's a little tricky one.
तो सर अगर मतलब फॉर लूप है, अगर फॉर लूप में भी n पता हो तो
अगर n पता हो तो it is constant only.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
सर आप एक MCQ क्रिएट कर सकते हैं क्या? बिकॉज मैंने नेटवर्क के कारण मैं 2 ही MCQ सबमिट कर पाया 4 में से, और उसमें 3 MCQ सबमिट करने के लिए बोल रहा है.
यार नेटवर्क तो अभी भी तुम्हारा खराब है, बट हाउ आई कैन क्रिएट मोर MCQ? So what happens for you guys if you miss the MCQ? I don't know. You get some marks or anything?
Attendance not take, sir.
अटेंडेंस सबमिट नहीं हो रहा है उसी बार.
Okay, attendance सबमिट नहीं होता है.
हाँ.
Attendance is must and should in ISC.
I didn't get it. Can you repeat? What was the must?
Sir, out of 3, out of 4 MCQ, must and should submit 3, at least 3.
Oh, okay. N minus 1. Got it. Yeah, yesterday also somebody told N minus 1. Now I understood that. Okay. So you guys want me to create one more MCQ? Chalo, let us do
Yes.
it. Let me do it, guys. What is S of n for which one? Which algorithm you want, guys?
शुभम भाई आपका अटेंडेंस नहीं होगा क्योंकि प्रीवियसली मेरा भी 2 MCQ मिस हुआ था, बट वो n-2 ऑलरेडी हो गया है, तो इट विल, आई डोंट थिंक इट माइट हेल्प.
Okay, anyway, I'll ask you one question, guys. It is posted now. You can try and then we will end the session. Very simple. Today's ratings are very bad. आज कुछ समझ नहीं आएगा. एक तो कुछ बोल नहीं रहे हो, कुछ मुझे क्या पता यार, क्या तुम्हें आ रहा है क्या नहीं आ रहा है. Fast, somebody said fast. Please, guys, feel free to interrupt me in between if I'm going fast or anything.
ये MCQ का आप ऑप्शन एक बार चेक करेंगे, शायद मे बी रॉन्ग है या मैं रॉन्ग हूँ.
MCQ का MCQ is perfectly fine.
मैंने टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी पढ़ लिया सर, मैं गलत हूँ.
Yes. Time complexity तो कल पूछा था ना. Why would I give you the same question?
सर इसमें मतलब डिफरेंस कैसे पता चलता है? यहाँ पे टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी पे ऊपर क्वेश्चन है या स्पेस पे?
S लिखा है ना, S is for space. TN होता तो that is time complexity.
ओके ओके.
हेलो सर, अभी भी नहीं हो रहा है, रहने दो फिर, क्योंकि अभी तो 5 की है तो 4 पूछ रहा है.
हाँ, ओके ओके,
यस सर.
ठीक है. So
सर एक्सप्लेन
okay,
करेंगे एक बार कैसे आया?
yeah, I'll do that. Obviously. Yeah, this was the question. ठीक है. So binary search, even if it is binary search or a linear search, it will require an array. Input तो दिया होगा ना array का. It will have some value. Let's suppose the array would be 1 2 3 4 8 48 10 or something, and we need to search number 3, but whatever it is, we are taking this much space. So that's how the space complexity would be order of n. Very simple. Don't go deeper into the logic also of time space complexity. Only see that the input is order of n, so space complexity is order of n. If somebody asks you how much extra space this algorithm is taking, then you need to go into what is the implementation, what logic you have put into it, and that is taken like the extra space. Understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how the binary search space complexity is. This time complexity is log n, because every time we will figure out the middle one, and it has to be sorted also. The array needs to be sorted. Sorted means it needs to be in some order. It starts from least number and then it goes increasing. So this is not a sorted array. We cannot even do a binary search on this number, this array. It has to be like this. So if a given array is not sorted, then first we need to sort it and then we apply the binary search. Otherwise linear search only.
सर
Okay.
एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस भी ऑर्डर ऑफ एन ही होगा ना?
Extra space depends on the implementation. There are many ways of implementing binary search. If you are taking some extra space, then it will be this one. But I don't think we take any extra space. We directly search
No, but
in the.
if extra space is less than order of n, then it will be order of n, right?
No. If extra space is less than order of n, if it is constant, if it is like 3, 4, 5 variables which you can count, that means it's order of 1. In binary search, we will just directly search in the middle, and we say that this number is not matching. We wanted to search 3, so this number is higher. That means our number will be on the left side. And if this number is, let's suppose we wanted to search 15, that is higher than 10, so we will search on the right side. So that is what binary search basically means. So every time we are dividing the list by mostly by half. So that's how it is I is equal to I by 2. So that's why the time complexity will be log n.
तो बाइनरी सर्च में ऑटोमेटिक सॉर्ट करता है कि सॉर्ट करना पड़ता है?
अगर sorted array दिया है in any problem, then you first think of binary search. अगर sorted नहीं दिया है तो sort करने में, so the minimum time complexity of any sorted, there are many mechanisms to sort also, but the minimum time complexity for any sort algorithm is n log n. We will learn it. I just told you this is the minimum. Generally it goes to n square also, but minimum is this. So that is why yeah, it is not mandatory to sort it first. Sometimes linear is better.
Okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
अब अभी एग्जांपल में दिए है array is equal to 1 2 3 10 15 48. आपने अब जब बाइनरी सर्च करते हैं, आपने बोला अगर 10 से मतलब माइनस में है तो वो 2 पे आ जाएगा, मतलब सर्च करेगा. अगर 10 से ऊपर है तो वो राइट में जाएगा, दैट इज 15 और 48 के ऊपर, राइट?
करेक्ट.
ओके, समझो एग्जांपल है 1 3 10 15 48 की जगह 2 है.
1 3
10
10
45 2 45 लाइक दैट. हाँ, तो हाँ, अभी तो यहाँ पे तो लेफ्ट साइड में तो जाने के लिए वो डिक्रीज तो है नहीं, वहाँ पे
sorted नहीं है ना,
sorted भी नहीं है ना.
sorted नहीं है भाई. If it is sorted, then only binary search can apply. This is not sorted.
Okay, so
that is the limitation of binary search.
Okay, उसका मतलब रूल्स है कि अगर
you actually got it very right, and that is actually the reason. अगर ये sort नहीं होगा ना, तो the number can be anywhere in between. We cannot go left or right.
Okay, तो हम बाइनरी सर्च यूज ही नहीं कर सकते, तब लीनियर में जाना पड़ता है.
Correct, very good.
Binary search always used in sorted list.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
सर नेक्स्ट क्लास में क्या है ना सर, मतलब आप ऐसे करते हो बाइनरी सर्च, तो आप क्या नीचे में आप ये नोट्स करो कि बाइनरी सर्च क्या होता है, हम कब यूज करेंगे, तो ज्यादा समझ में आएगा.
We will learn all these things. I am not teaching you binary search. I am just teaching you time complexity, space complexity, and some example of array today only. That's it. Binary search आएगा अभी, उसको deep में भी समझेंगे.
Okay, sir.
Even I will write the program of binary search also. Today I am just telling you the logic कि left जाएगा, right जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं जाएगा ना, वो program लिखेंगे उसका.
Okay.
तो वो आएगा, उसका तुम चिंता मत करो.
Okay, sir.
Okay, chalo guys. I think I was little faster today. Is what I see from the feedback also, but it is okay. I will try to improve. But yeah, anyway, I'm asking you guys question also in between, and I'm answering all your doubt. But feel free to ask any question, guys.
सर एक लास्ट चीज है, वो सीसी में आपने वो .pdf बोला था, मैंने टेक्स्ट अपलोड किया है, चलेगा ना?
Yeah, that actually I don't check it, and I'm not even sure what to expect to get from you people. I think your mentor or somebody else evaluate it, right?
अच्छा, okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about it, to what you will what to get it from you.
Thought keep in public, sir. The students are asking some questions, sir. All are all.
Yeah, actually it is asked me to not keep it public. Maybe I will ask again to make it, if I can do it. Okay.
Okay.
So earlier, if you see earlier, instructor used to do that public.
Sir?
Like instructor before me, they used to do public chat or what?
Sir, most of the instructions I have in public, sir.
Chalo, okay, then I will also make it. Okay, thank you guys.
Okay, sir.
Have a
Thank you. Good
great
night.
Good night.
weekend. Bye
Good
bye.
night.
Good night, sir.